Keep living in your right mind. How are you all doing today? Well, happy Saturday to you all. I hope you have been having a great week. And remember, this is our summer pledge, keeping self. So I hope you have been doing something for yourself each and every day. And if you haven't, then it's okay. You can always start today. Don't worry about what you didn't do yesterday or last week or the week before. You can just start today planning to make sure you take care of yourself. Because why? Because you are most important in this journey. You really are. Well, I'm glad to be here today. Yes, I am. And I'm glad that you are joining me. I'm going to share with you some stories and some topics and to hopefully help you navigate in your journey. And today we're going to go a little deeper. We're going to talk about things that sometimes we don't always like to talk about. Okay? So if you are with me today and you ready to take a deeper dive, just go ahead and type keep living. Okay? Because sometimes we become caregivers and we don't initially start the conversation early in life with our parents, with our family, about what does caregiving really looks like. What it looks like for you, what it looks like for your siblings, what it looks like once you get married, for your spouse and for your children. And then we fail to even discuss things in our past, things that we just never got a chance to sit down, talk about, get over, move forward. You know, we don't just sit down and talk about those things because we just keep living. We just moving throughout life and taking one day by one day. And sometimes the things from the past start building up on top of each other. And so then we become we get married and we have children and we're working a full-time job, and then next thing you know, our kids going off to college and we're taking care of our loved ones, and then we still never talked about things that we should have talked about in the past. And so then once you become a caregiver, if that's your situation, those things start to really boil up to the top, because then you are thinking about things that happened in the past, things that you didn't deal with, things concerning your loved one that you never had a chance to talk about. So today we're just going to take a little deeper dive into those things. And I just wanted to encourage you today that it's okay to talk about the past to help you move forward in your future. Okay? So again, if you're with me today and you're ready to take this deep dive, go ahead and just type keep living. Okay? So the first topic that we're going to really dive into is let it go. Hmm. Okay? Let it go. Yes. Let it go. You may be thinking, Janae, what are you talking about? What I need to let go? I'm taking care of my loved one. I'm doing all that I'm supposed to do. I'm tired every day. I'm worn out. I'm trying to keep myself. I'm trying to balance life. I got kids in school, kids going off to college. I got a full-time job. Or I have my own business. What you talking about? Let it go. I don't have time to let it go. I have to just focus on the things that are right in front of me that I need to focus on. But I want to talk to you, and I really want you to listen to me. Because when you don't let it go, what happens is you cause yourself to have health issues. You cause yourself to have mental issues. Yes, you believe you're strong, you think you're strong, but you're holding on to stuff from the past. And that's causing you to have internal issues that you're not dealing with. Of course, we all look good on the outside. Don't I look good? Miss Fine look good, right? But there are things on the inside that we need to deal with. And in this summer pledge of keeping self, we can't keep ourself if we're really not dealing with ourselves. You're not dealing with you. You're not dealing with those things on the inside. So in life, as I became a caregiver and listening to other caregivers, I would hear some caregivers say, well, I don't want to care for my loved one because they really didn't care for me. My daddy, not my daddy, you all. My daddy was Maurice Evans Sr. He was the best daddy ever. But I'm talking about other situations, okay? Just wanted to get that straight. Daddy, I love you, okay? Just want to get that straight. Other situations where if the parent has walked out on them in their childhood and they were not there, whether it was the mom or the father, and they were not present, and maybe they were raised by their grandmother at the time, or other situations where you just feel that, hey, I don't think or felt that I was taken care of well enough during my childhood. But as I grew up and became an adult and life continues to happen, now I'm in a situation where I have to care for my loved one. I have to care for my mom or my father, or even my grandmother. If I didn't think she cared for me, or she showed me the same love that she showed maybe my siblings or my cousin. Maybe you felt that there was some favoritism, going on in your family in your past. Whatever the situation was for you and that you experienced, I want to acknowledge that, yes, that was your story. And yes, you did experience that. And yes, that did hurt you. But I want to encourage you to let it go. I want to encourage you to deal with it. I want to just encourage you in your caregiving journey. If that person is still alive, that pray and ask God and go have that conversation with that person. If that person is the one that you're caring for right now, go have that conversation with that person. Okay? Talk about those things in the past. Let them hear your story. And then you be patient enough and open enough to hear their side of the story. Okay? Because we know it's always three sides to a story. But go have those conversations if you can. And if your loved one that you are referring to that may have hurt you in the past or didn't care for you in the past, and now they're gone and they have transitioned, sit down and talk to God about your past. Sit down and give all that to Him and allow Him to work a good work in you so you can move forward. Let it go. Okay? Let it go. But there is a process to letting it go. You just don't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to forget about that. They did me like this in the past, and I don't know why I got to care for them now. I just don't understand why this happening to me. There is a process in letting go, but go through the process. Have those conversations that you need to have so you can keep living in your right mind. Okay, so you can keep really living in your right mind. So you have to first acknowledge, okay, this is what happened to me. This is my truth. And then be patient to hear their truth if you can, and try to come to a solution. And at the end of the day, you have to realize, I have some notes here for you because I took down some good notes. You have to realize that the same grace, the same grace that God extends to us, we must extend that same grace to others. So just like God has forgiven us of some things that we have done and said that wasn't pleasing to His sight nor sweet to His ears, we have to forgive others as well. Janae, it's hard. It's hard for me to forgive. Yes, it is. It's hard for the human being to really forgive. Yes, it is, but it's possible and it's needed. So you can let it go, so you can have a healthy lifestyle as you continue to grow, as you continue to care. Things just have to be resolved at some point, whatever that solution looks like for you. We may not all have the same solution, but get to some type of resolve to help you keep living, keep moving forward, and keep taking care of your loved one the best that you can. Okay? So remember, the same grace that God extended to you, you have to extend to your loved one. You have to extend to that person in your life and forgive them. And that forgiveness, again, is for you. Okay? That forgiveness is for you. Okay? You have to remember that. And then you have other situations, even as a caregiver. Uh, it's sometimes kind of kind of funny because you become a caregiver, and you don't think all this other stuff is going on, is going to happen, but keep living. Like my mom used to say, keep living and it will. And you may say to yourself, well, I don't understand what I'm doing this and they over here doing that. Why are they not doing the same thing that I'm doing? I don't feel like it's fair. And what you have to understand as a caregiver, when you take on that responsibility to care for your loved one, what somebody else is doing is not your business. Okay? What they're not doing is not your business. What they're not doing. You do what you're supposed to do. You continue to do what you're supposed to do. And what you have placed yourself in the responsibility to do for your loved one. You can't be concerned about what somebody else is not doing and what they should be doing. At the end of the day, you have to remove the things from your life that's not going to allow you to live a healthy lifestyle, you all. Things that we process and think about sometimes, those things we just need to let go. Those things we need not to carry with us as caregivers. We have enough on our plates as caregivers. We sure don't need to be piling other stuff on and worry about who's doing this and who's doing that. That's none of your business what they're doing and not doing, okay? That is none of your business what they're doing and not doing. Okay? You should be most concerned about yourself first as a caregiver, making sure you keeping yourself, making sure your health is intact, making sure your mental pulse is together, and also caring for your loved one the best way that you can. Okay? So I wanted to just dive deep in that particular topic with you all and just take this time and this moment to let you know, let it go. Let it go. Go through the process of letting it go. Have those conversations that you need to have. You may need to have conversations, with your immediate family. You may need to have conversations with your sister friends. You may need to have conversations, with someone at church. Whatever the situation may feel, whomever you felt that, hey, this happened to me in my past, and now I got a responsibility to take care of my loved one. But now I'm feeling some type of way about it. Go ahead and have those conversations. Be honest with yourself. Share your truth. Share your truth so you can move forward, so you can keep living in your right mind. And I'm telling you, when you let that stuff go, this is the good part of it. When you let that stuff go, you're you're able to live better. You're able to look better. You're able to take care of your loved one better. Because you let that stuff go. You dealt with it. You don't have that on your shoulder. That's not on your mind. So now even your loved one can feel and sense that, hey, they're taking care of me better. They're showing me more love because they let that go. And that's what you got to do. Forgive, let go, have those difficult and challenging conversations. Okay? And when we come back, I'll share with you some other tips to help you keep living in your right mind.
Hi, guys. It's Tina Wynn, your host of the podcast, You See Me. I want you guys to stay encouraged, continue to come out and see me, and most importantly, see yourselves. Remember, the only way that you can truly enjoy life is to see other people so that you can enjoy the beauty of seeing yourself. Come join me Saturdays at 4 on the We Empowered Network. Thank you.
Yes, that was Tina. Please join her today at 4 p.m. Her show is very inspiring and empowering. And here at the We Empower Network, that's exactly what we do. We empower each other. We empower you. So tell your friends and family to come on over to We Empower Network, We Empower Nation. Okay? They have many good programs that you can really be inspired by. Okay? So the next step that we're going to get into today to help you keep living in your right mind as a caregiver is safety. Okay. Safety is very, very important. And again, my story is that I we took care of my mom, and she was diagnosed with dementia, and we took care of her for 10 or more years. And so through that process, I had to learn about different things that I had to remove from her room, because I was just trying to make sure, mom's room looked just like her home, that she had a lot of things in her room that she had at home, so she can be around some familiar um, furniture pieces, her clothing, that everything looks familiar, everything, even her clothes, that they smelt familiar, because mom wore white diamonds, honey. If you know anything about white diamonds, honey, my mama wore white diamonds perfume, and she wore that perfume good. Do you hear me? I still have some of her pieces. I do, up in my closet, and they still smell like white diamonds perfume. They do. But so I was just trying to make sure she had everything in her room and that she was comfortable. But then I had to learn that some things I had to remove for her safety, and didn't realize that at the time. And I also think that sometimes it's just not with those that may be diagnosed with dementia. It may be just those that are getting older. Sometimes you're getting older, and your cognitive skills are not the same, or not like they used to be. So it's very important that you make sure that you create a safe environment for you and your loved one. And so, especially for your loved one, you want to do things like remove rugs. Okay, remove rugs from the bathroom, remove rugs if you have rugs in the hallway or anything. Remove the rugs, because a lot of times elderly, they don't always remember to sort of pick their foot up or their feet up when they're walking. So you have to remove the rugs, and that will prevent falls. So remember, just and even if this is not your situation, just take notes, because like my mama used to say, keep living. You're gonna need these notes. So remove, so remove the rugs. Also, you want to make sure that if you in a situation like I was in with my mom with dementia, and especially in the initial stages of it, she was highly confused. And so, bless her heart, she always wanted to go. And so, yes, she always wanted to go and leave and go out the house. And so, we had to put like the child locks on the inside of the door so she wouldn't open the doors in the middle of the night and just leave. Okay. And so, you may want to think about doing that. It's not about locking anyone in, or not allowing them to go out, but it's about their safety at the end of the day. It's about their safety and about your peace of mind. Okay, so you may want to put child locks even on your cabinets. It just depends again your situation, but these are some safety tips that I was able to learn during our phases of caring for our mom. And you need to also remove sharp items. Even if your loved one has not been diagnosed with dementia, maybe they're just aging gracefully, praise God. You still want to remove sharp items because sometimes, again, the older you get, you don't always recall or remember how sharp a knife is. And so they may, pull the knife out and start cutting a banana or something, and just may make a mistake and cut themselves. So to prevent cuts and things like that, go ahead and remove those sharp items. And if they need that apple sliced, then just go ahead and slice it for them. But again, don't let them see where you putting that knife, okay? Okay. So, and then if your loved one is diagnosed with dementia, Alzheimer's, then you know, or may not have experienced yet, that sometimes they could become so confused and so frustrated, and so angry at times that they may grab a sharp object. I have heard stories like that. I never experienced that with my mom, but I've heard stories like that they will grab sharp objects. So just make sure you remove those things, from their access and things like that, to again, for their safety, for your safety, and for your peace of mind. Okay. So another good tip I have for you is to create an emergency plan. I don't recall us having an emergency plan for mom, to be honest, um, because when she was in the memory care home, of course, they had an emergency plan. But for us as a family, I just don't recall us having an emergency plan, and even me thinking about an emergency plan. And so when the pandemic happened, of course, that really threw us for a loop. It threw me for a loop big time. It really, really did. And so it's very important to really create an emergency plan for your family and for your loved one. And just what would happen, what would happen in situations, if there's a tornado, or if there's another a virus that breaks out, another pandemic. What is your plan for your loved one that you've been caring for? What is the best plan for you as the family that is caring for them if they're living in the home with you? So you have to think about those things. And so I would just really encourage you to create an emergency plan, sit down with your family and talk about an emergency plan. If you need further tips about an emergency plan, you can always go to Old Faithful AARP.org/caregiving, and they have tips that will help you create an emergency plan. Okay. Also, you would need to remove access to keys. So if your loved one had been driving and now they're gracefully aging, or they have been diagnosed with something, you want to remove the easy access to the car keys. Okay, you do want to do that. Over the years, there have been loved ones that go lost, or maybe they get in a car and don't know how to come back home, and not recalling how to return back home. And so that's a very real situation, and could be a very scary situation at the same time. And so even if you say to yourself, well, they do all right, they go down to the grocery store, and most of the time they come back and there's no problem. Anything can happen as our parents, as your aunts and uncles, as your loved ones start really gracefully aging. Anything can happen, you all. And we don't never know what's going to happen. And I would just say it's best, from my experience, to remove the access to the keys. Okay. And we know it's hard. It's hard to give up that independence. It really is. But it's going to be the most safest thing. And so with that, I would say install Life 360. Install the app Life 360 on your phone and on your loved one's phone, smart. Smart device cell phone. Work for AT&T and I act like I don't know what it is, huh? Okay, but install Life 360, the app itself, on your phone and on their cell phone as well. This would give you a peace of mind of mind, okay, and allow you to know where they're at all times, okay? And so I would really, really encourage you to install Life 360 app. It's not about keeping up. When we first did our family circle, the boys was like, oh, y'all trying to keep up with us. Yeah, we are. Yes, yes, we pay for everything. Yes, yes, without us, you're nothing. But but even as your parents get older, they may think, oh, I don't want to lose my independence and I don't want to lose you, mom or dad. And that's what you let them know. We don't want to lose you. So install that app on their phone to help you keep living your right mind, okay? The last tip that I have for you today is I just want to encourage you all. I am finally getting ready to celebrate. I turned 50 this year and I received a master's degree this year as well. And so I'm finally celebrating those milestones this month. And I want to encourage you that during my caregiving experience, while I was caring for my mom, I was in school. I was taking one class at a time. Sometimes I had to stop, withdraw, so I wouldn't mess up my GPA and then continue again. And so it had been a journey for me trying to finish the master's program. I received a master's in organizational leadership with a concentration in technology management. Thank you, Wanda. And that was a challenge for me, writing papers, staying up late. And that's why I encourage you all so much to take care of yourselves, because I know it's important. I know how important it is, but I also want to encourage you, if you're a caregiver right now and you feel like I can't go back to school, I can't do things for myself because I have to spend so much time caring for my loved one, I want to encourage you and let you know that you can balance. You can balance. If you create that support system like I talked about last week, you can balance your caregiving journey. It is possible. And don't let no one tell you that it's not possible, because it is possible. If you want to start that business, write that book, and you a caregiver, you can do that. It is possible, you all, to balance. You just have to plan for it. You just have to set yourself up right. You just have to create that support system that I talked about. But I want you all to know that I received that master's degree during the process of caring for my mom. So my mom transitioned. She won in August of 2021, and I received my master's that following January. No, no, wait a minute. Hold up. I received my master's degree this January, 23, with a 3.65. So I was just, you see, I'm so excited. I can't keep up with the days, the years, or whatever. But I was just so excited that I made it. I was just so excited that I made it. So I just wanted to encourage you as a caregiver, whatever your goals are, that you can accomplish those goals. You go and read Romans 8:31 through 39. And it gives you some good advice about the more than experience. And God says that we are more than conquerors. And we are more than conquerors. And you get the more than through God's love. It was His love that gave us the encouragement and gave us the boldness to continue to move forward. You all be blessed today. Go forth as a caregiver and do those things that you always wanted to do. God is with you, and continue to trust in God in everything that you do. Okay? Keep living in your right mind. We'll see you again next week. Continue to take care of yourselves. Okay? Take care, everyone. God bless you all.